JJ, I know you saw the news. I know that everybody was wondering. I don't know. Do we obsess too much about where guys are leaving to? Like, have we been this dialed in to a person leaving a program in a long, long, long time? Is this uniquely BYU? Is it crazy for us to go this wild about where's he going to end up? Where's Jake Retzlaff going to end up? And were people only really getting excited about, like, when I say excited, what I really mean is were people really dying to know what the next step was, or were they really just hoping to put a period on the end of that sentence to Jake Retzlaff time at BYU? I hope it's the latter, but there's part of me, knowing the BYU culture a little bit, having graduated from there and having watched this program over the past 20-something years, to say, yeah, but we do kind of, we sort of watch these guys and live their stories out probably a little bit too long. But Jake Retzlaff going to be transferring. Transfer portal is not part of this.
He's leaving, and he's going to walk on at Tulane.
And Tulane's got a disaster of a program. But why do we obsess so much over the guys who leave a program? Is it just because of the way that he left, or how is it that this happens?
It's a combination of things. First of all, at BYU, the quarterback position is under a microscope because of the history, because of the names that have been there. You also have a BYU fan base that is very, very, very rabid and very, very interested in their program. They love the Cougars. They are very dialed in. And as somebody who's worked in media a long time, BYU fans, they absorb a lot of media coverage. They love it. They do. And it's awesome. That's a compliment. It's great because they care so much about the program. And so they are interested in all aspects. They're very interested in people that move on. Like, so every Sunday we do a segment on TV called Locals to the NFL. Because you love hearing about former BYU Cougars, and Utah fans love hearing about former Utes, and Aggie fans love seeing Utah State players like Bobby Wagner doing well in the NFL because it represents your school, it represents your state, and in BYU's instance, it represents your faith, and you're pulling for those people, and you're interested in them.
Yeah.
So there's more of an emotional attachment to the players that have played in that program than maybe somebody who was a quarterback at Georgia or, I don't know.
No, they disown those guys. If they leave.
Michigan State.
No, for sure. If they leave.
I think they love their running backs and linebackers more at Michigan State.
It might be an interesting, like, what goes on next with this guy? But, like, BYU fans are going to be searching out. I think they're going to be searching out.
That's the word
like,
I'm really trying to come up with, Alex, is they care.
Yeah, and I do think if
they
somebody
truly
left,
care about that person and their life.
If somebody left under different circumstances, which we've seen before too. You've seen guys walk out of Provo with double middle fingers up, and those guys, people are just as interested to see where they're going. And it's even more interesting when they stay in town, right? Looking at you,
I know
Francis
who you're talking about. I thought you were talking about Levitt too.
No, listen, Dallin Levitt, actual middle fingers up, not just the metaphorical ones.
Literal middle fingers.
No, but you see what I'm saying, like, when those guys leave, you're kind of obsessed of how they left, and people are kind of doing like the "I hope he fails" sort of thing. I don't think people are doing that with Jake. I think people really are looking to see. But I do think that him walking on at Tulane, I mean, it is as much of a nothing burger in terms of who is going to watch the BYU's not on the docket against Tulane this year. There was kind of a halfway mention. Our producer Alex and I were talking about this because I saw the same kind of things where people were kind of rumbling about the possibility of Stanford, which my ears perked up and went, "Did you say Stanford?" Because if there was a possibility of him going to Stanford, and they play Stanford week 2 in Provo, like, that would have been amazing. We would have been gifted an amazing situation there. Now, the quarterback situation has to work out. Let me tell you what it is at Tulane. Is not good, which is why you go there if you're Jake Retzlaff, right?
That's why he's walking on there.
Okay, so Tulane, they have a pass-heavy offense. Okay, they try to score, and they try to score a lot. So they've got John Summerall. He recruited Retzlaff apparently to try to get him to Troy. Troy, of course, same kind of thing, kind of an air-it-out type offense. They try to score a ton, and they do, but their starter from last year, Darian Mensah, goes to Duke. Okay? What did they do? They added 4 different guys out of the transfer portal, and they already had another 2 guys in there. This is a 7-way quarterback battle. Now, the reality is it's probably more like a 3-way battle.
If you have 7 quarterbacks, you have none.
Now you can say that firmly. For sure. The old adage, if you have 2, you have none. If you have 3, it's embarrassing. And then if you have 7, you've got a program turnover that is a real problem. But Jake Retzlaff wanted to go to a place where I think two factors. I would hope that number 1 is playing as much as you can. We can't help but wonder also what an NIL deal would be going to Tulane. It's not like the Green Wave. Are they Conference USA? Is that what they are?
No, they're American.
Oh, yeah. Is it the AAC?
No longer. It is now just the American.
Okay, sorry. I didn't get all the branding
That
notes.
branding actually came down today.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, it is the American.
I'm going to have a hard time with that one.
The AAC is dead.
Yeah,
Which
I mean,
makes sense because
it sounded stupid, but
calling
also
it the American is so much better.
Yeah, but just saying, I don't know where's he going to end up. The American? Like it does sound. Anyway.
Can you name 5 schools left in the American now?
Unfortunately.
Can you do it? There's a top 10 for you.
Unfortunately, I could because it's basically leftovers from Conference USA. Hold on. Let me see if I can get at least 5. You ready? Tulane, East Carolina. Oh, boy. Now I'm running into it. Chattanooga?
Chattanooga?
I think they are.
They are not.
Are you looking at it?
They are not.
Is Army in it? No. Navy and Army are both in it. Wait, are we talking the American still? We're calling it the American, right?
You got Army and Navy. And you already got East Carolina.
East Carolina, Tulane.
And you got Tulane. One more.
Memphis is in there because they were in the news today. Obviously.
Memphis is your 5th. So it's Army, Charlotte, East Carolina.
I was thinking Chattanooga and Charlotte were the same in my
Don't forget FAU, not
Excuse
FU.
you?
Not FU, but
Excuse
FAU.
you?
The Owls.
All right.
Navy midshipmen you mentioned. North Texas, the Mean Green.
Oh, yeah.
Are on the American.
My mom's alma mater. Hey, did you, and also Scott Bakula's alma mater, don't forget. And also don't forget Kathy Ireland's alma mater.
Scott Bakula.
I said Scott Bakula because wasn't that the...
Yes.
Was that the movie?
It's a TV show.
No. Not
What TV? What
you're
movie?
talking about the Mean Green movie. Kathy Ireland was the kicker. What's your problem, man? She was the kicker. No, I'm not talking about when Scott Bakula was.
I thought you were talking about Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap. No, I'm talking about the movie where he played for the Mean Green. How dare you?
Oh, you remember the episode? Should I even bring this up?
No, you should not.
Should I
already
bring
know
this
which
up?
one. I already know what you're talking about. The answer is no. I'm not doing it.
You don't want to go there.
I always love that what's his name showed up with a cigar in his
You
mouth.
don't want
He's
me
like,
to play career
no,
roulette?
I'm not doing it.
You don't
and you
want to
can't
remember
either.
that one episode of Quantum Leap?
I'm bailing you out of this right now. The answer is no. Okay? All right,
I really do, though.
If you had Scott Bakula on the bingo card for first segment today, it was more like a second segment topic.
Is Scott Bakula still with us?
He definitely is. All right, so if you are looking at this team, if you're looking at Tulane, I'm going to watch it just because I want to see if he's going to start. If Jake Retzlaff's not the starter, what a bummer of a way to end things, right? If he's sitting behind whomever. But I also am interested too because the other thing you look for is a payday present. If you're a walk-on, you can get NIL money, but you're not getting revenue share money, right? Isn't that how it works?
You're not on scholarship.
You're not on scholarship, and you're not.
No, you're not included in that.
Right, and so
you're a walk-on.
You walk on. I'm assuming that there could be some NIL dollars floating around maybe there for him.
Do you think a booster is like, man, our quarterback room stinks, and Retzlaff's available, let's go get him?
Do you think he was $1 million guy at BYU? No way.
No.
Do you think he's a $500,000 guy?
Maybe.
6-figure, right?
Maybe, yeah.
But
for
he's probably taking a pay cut, right? At the very least. But when he comes in and he goes to Tulane, and they've got 5 other quarterbacks in the room, including an Illinois transfer, Donovan Leary, including Ball State transfer, Caden Simonza, including Iowa transfer, Brendan Sullivan, including BYU transfer, Jake Retzlaff. I just named off 5 transfers that they brought in during the offseason. As of July 21, they had no idea, and they still have no idea. If it's July 21 today, which it is, as of July 21, they still don't know who the quarterback is. And they brought in Retzlaff. Tulane just got better if Retzlaff's the starting quarterback. Am I wrong?
Well, if he provides for Tulane what he provided for BYU last year, and Tulane goes 11-2,
leadership and some winning, right?
They could be the Group of 5 team in the college football playoff. There's going to be one.
Hey, producer Alex, let's look at some Vegas odds on who's going to win the American this year. Give me some over-under on the Green Wave. Hey, if you thought that it was July 21st and it feels like it in Sports Talk Radio, give me the over-under on Tulane in 2025. No. I think that people are interested because they want to know what it looks like for a guy who has gone through what he has, and there's going to be the obvious comparisons, right, of the guy who comes in and replaces Jake Retzlaff versus what Retzlaff is going to be doing at Tulane. A very different program, a very different offense, a very different situation. Does not matter. We are going to be looking at very, very closely how Jake Retzlaff's situation is as it shakes out. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that
you know somebody was going to be on top of the Group of 5 odds today with the Retzlaff news, right?
And
Brett McMurphy has it.
Oh boy,
Via Circa Sports, odds for Group of 5 teams to make the college football playoff. Boise State at plus 190. They're the obvious favorites. Guess who number 2 is?
Tulane.
That is correct. At
but
plus
they would have
850.
They would have been there anyway, right? Were they? Did that seriously?
I bet they jumped Memphis. I bet they jumped James Madison and UNLV. So
James Madison.
well, that's where we're left with. I mean, the Group of 5. I mean, most of the Group of 5 teams have moved on. So that's what you're left with. Yeah, Tulane's got a shot, and that's why Jake Retzlaff landing there is good for him. I think that BYU fans, besides just always being interested in their players, and Jake Retzlaff has a place in BYU football history. Jake Retzlaff led a team to an 11-2 season. It's one of the best seasons in BYU football history. Statistically, wins-wise, I mean, to win 11 games at the Power 4 level, obviously BYU's only been there 2 years, but that was significant. He was the quarterback on that team, and I know it was a roller coaster ride. He wasn't very efficient. His numbers weren't top of the league. I get that, but the dude made some clutch plays, and they went 11-2 with him as the starter. There's value in that. So BYU fans, I think when you win 10, 11 games at BYU, you're going to talk about those quarterbacks for a long time. That's the quarterbacks we talk about all the time, are those quarterbacks that achieve that. Won conference championships, or had the team in the top 25, or had wild bowl wins, or whatever it is, or great finishes. Even Tanner Mangum, even though things didn't go exactly how he wanted, that Hail Mary in Nebraska, BYU fans will talk about that forever. The comeback against the plays against Boise State.
You know what?
We'll talk about that forever.
I was hoping to have a conversation like this today. Who's a better BYU quarterback, Tanner Mangum or Jake Retzlaff?
Now, I'm not trying to have that conversation. But
I don't know. Is there a comp? There's not really a comparable situation with Jake Retzlaff and anybody else, right?
I can't think of a quarterback
who got 15 starts in their
that,
career
that
and
had
is
an
more
11-2
talked about.
season and then had to move on because of honor code situation.
Yeah.
I
mean,
can't think of it.
We think of guys who've had honor code stuff that have hit them and that they have to leave the program, but it's usually not the quarterback.
It's rarely been, right?
And at BYU has them in the quarterback.
So that they've been able to avoid that. But why is Jake landing there? I think that BYU fans also were curious if he landed in a Power 4 situation. And at that point, I think there would have been a little bit, oh, man, are we really going to have to see Jake Retzlaff go play at Baylor? Oh, man. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen anymore. So I think a lot of BYU fans are ready to move on from this story because he's not going to a Power 4 team, especially a Power 4 team in the Big 12, which was where some of the rumors were placing him. So I think that's part of the why the BYU interest is there. Now, for Jake, this is a great spot, a landing spot for him because, as you mentioned, that quarterback room is shaky at best. And that's a team that's going to be competing for a college football playoff spot as a Group of 5.
Yeah.
If they win the American and they're in the top 25 and the college football playoff rankings come out, that could be the team. It could be their year.
You mean, and then I guess like an eighth seeded BYU plays a ninth seeded Tulane in the first round at Lavelle Edwards Stadium.
Who knows?
Football gods, if you're even existing out there, you give me that matchup between Tulane. You give me that matchup between Tulane and BYU in the first round of the college football playoff. You better give me that chance. You better give me that opportunity right now. If football gods do exist out there, you'll make that matchup happen.
Well, that's the great thing is because of the college football playoff.
It actually could.
And because BYU's in the Big 12.
It actually could.
This could happen.
Yeah.
For Jake, though, this is a great opportunity for him as a walk-on to go to a place where he has a chance to compete for the starting job. And another side note, 40% of the Tulane student body is Jewish. there's a real draw for him to go there and to feel part of a community. After being kind of on an island to BYU, I think he's going to feel a lot more comfortable there. Not that he didn't at BYU. My goodness. The BYU community embraced him, and I think a lot of BYU fans embraced him and really appreciated the interfaith relationship that existed there. And I think a lot of people at BYU enjoyed that. But he's going to go now to a place where he feels very, very comfortable. So it's a good landing spot for Jake, and now there's closure to this whole situation completely. I'm sure BYU fans wish him well. And now it's time to find out who's going to be the quarterback of BYU in 2025, because this BYU team has a chance to be really good, but they've got to have a guy that steps in that position and provides them the same or even more production that Jake did last year.
If you're streaming this thing on our YouTube channel, on the KSL Sports YouTube channel, Idaho Cougar fan just weighed in, by the way, on this very thing. BYU's season shouldn't have to suffer because of losing Retzlaff. We can have hope and faith that the team can still be a successful team and the QB play can be good enough to overcome the pressure. That's the hope. That's the hope. But if you think we're not going to be watching on the side quest of wondering what Jake Retzlaff is doing at Tulane is also going to be very interesting for fans. Because
if Jake earns a starting job and Tulane wins a lot of games and BYU, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, that'd be interesting, because if they start winning games and then BYU's, 7-5.
That could be hard for some fans.
It would be difficult to watch. But that's just the way football is, right? I mean,
but there's a reason why the situations exist. It's the consequences of the situation. It's unfortunate for everybody, but I think Jake's in a good spot, and BYU can certainly move on now and focus on who their next guy is going to be. And so can we.